Hey guys, how you doing? This is Ryan Date, aka Date Ryan Samo on Twitter. Over there, that's my brother, big brother that is, Goose, aka Goose the Truth. And it's just us today, these two pillars meeting to talk all that anime and nerd stuff. Hoping that you would enjoy the conversation. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you hit the notification bell, you'll know exactly when we come to these meetings and you can join the conversation as well. So it's been a while since we've been together, and we've got to talk about some more new stuff that hot fire, as they say, or used to say. I'm kind of telling my age, right? But we're talking more ghosts, more spirits, more curses, more things. We're talking Jujutsu Kaisen. It is a new anime that is a shonen. It is a shonen. See that, Trav? It's a shonen, right? It's a shonen. So you guys can expect us to be talking about that shonen formula and stuff like that. But before we even get into all that, right? Let's just start off real simple. So I know what I think about it, but I got my brother to watch it. So what do you think about it?
All right. Well, straight out the gates. Here's the thing. The way it started was kind of slow for me, and then it picked up rather fast. And I was like wondering the way it was going was, is this going to be, and I looked it up. So I believe it's a 24 episode run. If they're not going to make another season, that's what I looked up and I saw. And that's how it came off. And I was like, all right, so they're going to do a 24 episode run. And the reason why I knew that was the way that, I guess his grandfather dying, I'm talking about is Itadori Yuji, right? So we see that his grandfather dies and he lets him know, hey, look, you're strong. Don't waste your strength. Help as much people as you can, right? I was like, okay.
So he gives us the shonen. He gives us our shonen reasoning for. Okay.
The shonen reasoning, basically. Right?
All right.
Okay. And then right away, with the way it like jumps at me, is like, it reminded me of Demon Slayer. That's what I got from it. I guess in terms of speed, right? So then we know that this person is fairly strong. We see him beat his teacher really easily I forget what they do when they throw the ball or whatever, but it's
shot put.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we know this character is super duper strong. We don't know anything. We don't know why he's super duper strong. We just know right now that he's super duper strong. Cool. And if anybody's tuning in and watching, I don't know. I guess we're bringing it up, and I don't want to speak about it like as if you guys don't know about it. If you haven't checked it out, please do check out the anime. I just encourage people to watch anime in general. Even if I don't think that it's the greatest, I think you should still check it out because, it's anime and you should all get your own views about it. But anyways, so I love the character. I love the characters. What's not doing well for me, and the reason why I brought up the whole thing about looking up, whatever you have to look up or checking it out. What's not doing it justice for me, spoiler alert, is the plot. The plot is not capturing me.
Okay.
I don't know I'm not getting enough. I love the interaction between Yuji and Fushiguro. And they brought on another teammate as well. Who was the other person?
Nobody.
Nobody. Okay.
Nobody. Yeah.
So I love their interaction. I like the speed because of again, we know it's 24 episodes, so they have to kind of like keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
That's all fine. The animation is great. Character development is cool. What I'm not a fan of, and I feel like I don't know, because when you see so much anime, and maybe this is good for the younger folks who are just getting into anime, is the plot doesn't do anything for me. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing at all. Like you don't think the plot is doing anything at all for you? I mean, first of all, I guess I do have to.
You brought up in conversation. What did you bring up? I don't want to tell them what you brought up. What did you say? It seemingly like. What did you say it was?
Listen, everyone, all the viewers, if you have your pitchforks and your fire out, as you normally do for whenever it is that me and Travis say something, let me know if I have to burn it to stake or not. But to me, they look like Team 7. We have Kakashi, who is Gojo Sensei. We have Naruto and the nine-tailed fox spirit. who is Yuji and Sukuna. We also have Sasuke, our super cool guy, who has a lot of promise since he was born. That is Fushiguro Megumi. And we have our female character who's, we'll get into that in a second, who isn't useless, but she's still a female character in the group of three, and that is Nobata. And so they remind me of Team 7, even the way they get along and interact. It's a very fun, I think it reminds me of Team 7 after they passed the test with the bells with Kakashi instead of beforehand, right? And I kind of like that a lot. So I'm going to also agree with Goose here. I think that the character development, and that we don't know yet, but the characters, right? I love them. Their interactions are great. And we were talking about another thing is just like how relevant this anime is to the recent times. Right? Yuji loves was it Jessica Lawrence, right? And
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Sorry, Jennifer Lawrence. So Yuji loves Jennifer Lawrence, right? And that's hilarious. There's a part where they also talk about playing Smash Brothers, and even and this is spoilers for Trav. Travis didn't get this far yet, y'all. I'm still gonna spoil it. So
which is fine.
I don't care. There's a part where he's learning from Kakashi, or Gojo, as we're gonna call him. That's his actual name for this anime. He's learning from Gojo, and he gets sad because he's told that he can't use any techniques yet. And he goes, I want to be able to shoot a spirit gun or a Rasengan or a Kamehameha. And I'm like, wait, what? And it's just, it was so good.
And you see the problem with, I think you said it. I don't know if you said it just now. I'm not sure if you mentioned it just now or not, because you said an array of characters, but Ninetales comes to mind. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, you know, I guess, I don't know, maybe I guess at this point I'm thinking about originality. I'm thinking about originality when it comes to this, you know, this anime. And again, like I said, I love the characters and everything like that, but why am I getting this Ninetales / Parasite kind of anime coming at me? You get what I mean? Like, it's not really fulfilling. I need some more episodes, I guess, maybe.
You know, watch some more episodes and see where it goes into. I think that when we're talking originality and we're talking stuff like that, Trav, I think that the more original parts of this is the fact that I like the whole, they're still harkening back to spiritual Japan, old school, when they're dealing with the curses and stuff like that. But then it's so new school because we have them in school using their phones, and even like the interactions are very recent, but they're still dealing with like kind of traditional Japanese stuff. I think that's a very cool way to go about it, and we see this sometimes in other animes, but I like the way that they're doing it because it's done so well. There's a part where like they make a joke, you know how like it's a reference to how somebody paying attention to their phone misses out on something. So what happens is Megumi's texting on his phone, and they're talking about what food they're gonna eat, and then all of a sudden you see Gojo looking at Megumi, and he's looking at him like, what do you want to eat? And he's too busy texting, and he goes, oh, well, guess you weren't paying attention. They keep moving on. And that's like a reference to how people nowadays look at their phones and miss stuff. Like, it's done so well when it comes to relating the characters to the world that they're in. I enjoy that a lot. So I think that is the good amount of originality that we see in Jujutsu Kaisen, is how they're able to make the characters actual characters with character, and the interaction is great. I think that's the coolest part of Jujutsu. I like watching them. I like watching them.
And I agree with you. In terms of modernization and characters, and like I said, I said already that I love the characters and character development. Something about this, I guess maybe I have to continue to watch it, but something about this plot makes me feel like I've been beat in the head way too many times with this plot. I'm not gonna say the story because it may give me a different story, right? But I am getting this Naruto vibe, you know what I'm saying? And I love Naruto, but I guess in terms of like writing or enjoying an anime, especially like with the amount of animes that I've watched, I feel like this may not be the anime for me. This may be an anime for somebody who's younger than us, who may never truly discover Naruto the way we did, and this may be their new Naruto. Do you get what I'm saying? But I can't even say that because it's only 24 episodes.
I mean,
you know,
you could say something like that. You could. I mean, but I think that. But okay, let's get back to something else you said. You said something about pacing, and I thought that was an interesting statement. So, what is different about Jujutsu Kaisen is the pacing, and I feel like that is a very interesting and noteworthy part of it. I like
Right.
the weird way that they were going to go into the whole background of the main character when his grandfather was dying, right? But then he said, I don't want to hear about that, and then cuts us off from our backstory. And we're left with this kid who's unnecessarily freakishly strong that we don't know why he's this strong. To the point where other characters in the show reference the fact that he's so strong. Like Nobara, when he punches through the wall, she's like, why can you just punch through a wall like that?
Right.
So
That's true.
And we don't get that information yet, but we learn about Nobara's backstory when we first meet her. And then we learn about Megumi's backstory later on, and we don't learn about the main character's backstory at all. And I think that's very interesting. That's a different way to do it. And I like that a lot.
I fancy that as well. I'm glad that you put that to my attention because I was not even thinking that at all. I think I was still thinking so much about plot that I overlooked that fact because we know we've discussed it so many times on our podcast that sometimes we're not a fan of backstories just being slapped in our faces all the time.
It's just weird when they just throw it at you like, hey, character backstory right now. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what is happening? But they did it very well with this. Even when they go into like, so later on when you get to the rest of the episodes, when they get into the backstory, well, not even the backstory, but they get into like explaining some of the abilities of Gojo's Tensei. The way that they do that, first of all, sidebar here, animation in Jujutsu Kaisen is absolutely gorgeous. And it's wonderful to watch. Whoever is animating this, we are grateful that you are doing so, because it is definitely a spectacle to watch. I will say this, the music isn't as good as Fire Force or like anything else I've been watching. Definitely not. But the animation is gotta put up the molto bene. It's very, very good. I definitely enjoyed that.
Do you not feel like this is just because you've come across a good amount of those 24 animes, right? Like those are like I guess those are the animes that you watch whenever you're waiting for your anime to come out, like and I'm not saying this specifically for you, but like One Piece, your Naruto's, when you knew that they were going to go the distance. You have your 13 and your 24 episode animes, and this is what it seems like to me. Again, I'm just, I hate to be repeating myself, but you have like and Ed might laugh at this, but you have your Elfen Lieds, right? You have your what are the 24? What are the 24? You have Parasite. Parasite was 24.
You know, it's not the Hashira Podcast if Goose doesn't say Elfen Lied, if he doesn't say Parasite, and if I don't say Code Geass. If we don't say those anime, it's not the Hashira Podcast. Sorry, you guys. Sorry.
Code Geass. Wait, not even Death Note is what, 26 or something like that? Or does it have 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken?
I forgot. I forgot the amount of episodes. I forgot.
Code Geass, like what? I think 40 something in total. If they do first season and second season.
You're gonna make me look it up. That's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna look it up. Hold me.
But you get what I'm saying. Like those short animes. So that's what I'm gathering in terms of pacing. And this is why we bring up Code Geass, because that was just beautifully paced and given to us. And Elfen Lied was 13 episodes.
Death Note is 37.
Death Note is 37. Furikuri, how much is that? Furikuri was like, what, 7 episodes?
Yeah, it's short. It's super short. Super short, man. Super short.
You can't tell me that was not a work of art.
Furikuri is one of the coolest things ever created, of weirdness plus actual concept. And as a musician and a guitar player, references to instruments that are real made me excited.
Right.
So I gotta say that one.
My main point is that I'm getting this Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the more people are getting into anime now, they're like hyping up whatever new anime comes out because they were never truly in the anime realm. But Jujutsu Kaisen comes off like it's just that here's this anime that has like a certain amount of episodes, and you watch it and you be done with it. And
I don't know. I don't know, Trev. I think that it's not like that only because it's doing the focus differently. And as you know, I'm a sucker for characters, and since characters in this show are good and when they interact is great, I feel like that's Jujutsu Kaisen's main selling point. It's like these are these characters that are so likable that when they get together and interact, you're going to enjoy the interactions that they have. And not only that, we're going to make those interactions feel so real to you based off the world that they're in and how recent it is, how relevant it is to actual pop culture, that you're going to like these characters, right? And I think that is the biggest selling point of Jujutsu Kaisen. Not to mention a lot of the stuff is kind of cool. I mean, if you want an anime, right, that's dealing with like because certain people are into like the ghost animes, the spooky animes, and it's not spooky, but I mean like the ghosts, the zombies, or whatever the case is, right? We don't talk about like the supernatural-ish sort of situations, right? People like animes like that, and when you see an anime like Jujutsu Kaisen that's dealing with that and all these other cool things with great animation packed into it, and it's just really nice package currently, and I think that that's what's gonna make it great. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's why I like it so much. Like watching it, to me, I just enjoyed it. Well, just seeing the characters be the characters. I really like Megumi, Fushiguro, and I really like Sukona. I really like Gojo. Gojo is the coolest character in the show by far, and yeah, by far.
Well, before we segue into because I love this character so far. Before we segue into the antagonist, because like for God's sakes, I love him.
You like Sukona?
I love
Sukona is beast.
He's the driving reason, and it's so funny because he has that. If you remember Parasite, he has this Miggy kind of thing going on. You remember Miggy from Parasite?
Yeah.
So like, the question I wanted to ask you is, do you feel like Yuji and Fushiguro became friends too quickly? Do you feel like that happened like too abruptly? Was that thrown in our face to just work for the sake of 24 hours and a plot and a story?
You know what's funny is, I don't think that they became friends too fast, because I don't think they were necessarily friends. But that's because later on in the episodes you'll realize. So you didn't get there yet. So what happens is that he comes to grips with why he decided to have him saved.
Oh, okay.
He says it. He says why. And he literally says, he goes, I have no actual reason for why I wanted to save you, but I felt like you were a good person because of the way you threw yourself out there for these people that you deserve to live because of what you did. It's not necessarily that they were friends. He saved him because he thought that what he did was worthy of someone being able to live. And I thought that, to me, was pretty cool, because it was showing that, hey, it's not like we were friends and buddy so fast, but it was like, hey, this is why I did it. You know what I'm saying?
I need that episode. I need to get to that episode.
You need to get to the rest of the episodes, because my boy Fushiguro, he beast. But anyway, so that's why I don't think so. What also what is another thing though, when we think about like that, you have to remember, people that go through traumatic situations become friends quicker than people who don't. That was pretty traumatic. Pretty traumatic.
We already get this understanding that Yuji has already thrown away this fearlessness, this fear that he had right at the gate, right, to go save Fushiguro, and to save the friends that he's only known, which he says, that I've only known my senpais for like a couple of months, I just felt like I should help them due to this, goal-oriented thing that he's passed on to himself from his grandfather, right? And I accepted that. I don't knock that. I believe it. I do. It's just like, again, it's an understanding of it. And I know it sounds so anti, but I have an understanding that this is 24 episodes, and we have to accept this pace. We have to accept this pace. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like I keep naming these things. I'm lenient into the pacing until it like proves me, oh snap, Travis, look, they're gonna do this great. Like I said, like Footy, like I was like, oh, I believed it right away. Like Demon Slayer, to me, the pacing I had to believe. I'm not saying there's not a good anime. I'm just saying that I have to believe the pacing due to the finite episodes that we will be given of a specific anime.
I mean, but that's the beautiful thing about watching it as it comes to you. See, I didn't look up anything. I don't know how many episodes it's gonna be. I'm just watching it and taking it as it is, and therefore that's why I don't get the chance to add this weird lens around it and change how I'm just enjoying the characters and the anime. Because as for me, even if it's short or a distance, like a longer distance between now and the finishing point, I'm enjoying the characters for who they are and the abilities that they have. As a matter of fact, can I do that real quick? Do you mind if I segue into my question for you? So when we get into dealing with like ki, right? Nen, whatever it is the functioning way of powers and abilities in an anime, how do you feel about Jujutsu? How do you feel about the curses and the curse energy and how they are using it to form abilities in characters?
It's dope so far. I actually think that it's kind of unique, seemingly from what I've been given. but it also gives off that Blue Exorcist vibe. I don't know if you remember that anime, if you ever watched that.
Yes, I have. I have watched.
Okay,
Blue
so
Exorcist.
it's definitely it's giving me that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, this is what I mean about plot not being as grandeur to me, because I feel like I've gotten it before, and what's keeping it alive, what's keeping the anime itself alive, is the characters, is me liking the characters.
Yeah, I really think that's the selling point, Trav. I'm telling you, that is the selling point of Jujutsu Kaisen, is the way it looks, how it's packaged, and the characters.
I don't even think I can favor the directing that much. I don't see like the way they use the. I mean, the animation is cool, but the shots they're choosing are not.
What? You don't like the shots? You don't like the funny things they do to like you got to see it. Like, you got to see when he's sad he can't shoot a Kamehameha or like a Rasengan, he turns to like this little paper thing, and it's so funny. And like one of the cool things are, so I don't know if you noticed it, right? When we're talking about like the details, you know how we like to get into details. If you look at Gojo, look at his lips, right?
Right.
You're gonna realize that they're shiny compared to everyone else in the anime, and that is to show that he is probably super, super handsome, the same way Kakashi was supposed to be super handsome underneath the mask, right? So if you look at his lips, you'll see like those are the little details in the shots and stuff and the animation that they're putting together that make you realize the funny stuff in the anime. And it's to me, it's just they're doing it very well, and I like the shots. I like the funny things where like they make Nobara look crazy when she's thinking to herself, like because she's slightly crazy, and as Gojo said, right, you got to be crazy to want to volunteer to be a Jujutsu sorcerer. So he was like, I want to see how crazy she is, and she always doing like crazy stuff, with a little funny animation in her hands and stuff like that. And to me, it's just funny. It was just a good thing to see. So
it's like you keep saying the characters are that's the selling point. And I know you usually love to that's your go-to, I think. No, usually, right? You definitely. Usually need to have the characters be enjoyable.
So yeah, I mean, characters are definitely my thing. Characters are definitely my thing, and that's why I'm stuck on it, because it's just like that's why I'm enjoying it so well. I'm gonna enjoy it further on. But I guess I can enjoy some of the mechanics. I like the whole so even and she's crazy. She makes the puns with her ability. She's like nailed it when she hits the thing with the nails. I'm just like, bruh. That was
I enjoy her power.
She's
ask me about powers. I enjoy her powers. I do.
Yeah, her powers are cool. So even like how they're doing that to me, and how the Jujutsu is formed when you're born, and it takes those things. I like the fact that my man is doing summoning jutsu, summoning the dogs, and and all that stuff. And I can't wait to see what other abilities we see in the show. But since you brought it up, let's go ahead and get there, because I want to get there. Sukona. Yes. Let's talk about Sukona. Well, he's the second best character in the show. Gojo's number one.
Dude.
No, he's number one. He's number one.
I love this driving force of this antagonist, or what's possible to see in the future, because you're ahead of me, so I don't know exactly what it is. It's going to be this anti-hero we have. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying this character very much, and I'm only on the 4th episode. I can't wait to see what he does next. And we do get his personality. We're getting what kind of person what kind of curse he is. He's not even alive. I guess, quote unquote, whatever the heck he is.
But he is alive. Remember,
he is alive.
We find out that he used to be human. They actually say that, so we know that there's a lot more to him than meets the eye, and I think that, to me, that is amazing. Yeah, he's when he started talking through his face, right, and then he tried to cover it up, and then he starts talking through the hand instead.
But again, that gives me Parasite vibes,
Yeah, but that was so good, man. I was like, he is petty, man. He's just like, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill you first. That's what I'm going to do. I was like,
right. And then, he was, trying to team up with another cursed being, and then the cursed being is just too far gone mentally-wise to even understand what he's saying. So he ends up having to fight that cursed being. And then go.
Wasn't that funny, though? Even when he had the other cursed being, right? And he was trying to... He's so stupid. He's like, listen, if I go to fight him right now, the kid's going to switch with me. So you, come take a walk with me.
Right.
He's like,
let's
let's go for a walk. He taps him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Then he gets mad at himself for healing the hands. He's like, oh, I healed the hands by mistake. Oops.
Yeah. Yes. That is fun. Comedy relief while being the quote unquote bad guy, and I'm curious to see what he does next. Like I said, you're ahead of me. The last thing I saw was him doing was so Fushiguro is outside waiting for Yuji to come back, and then he realizes that Sukuna has somehow I'm not gonna say teleported. You may just be really fast.
Super fast.
Ended up super. Yeah, he's right behind him.
It doesn't make any sense.
He was like, I just want to talk to you real quick. That's where I'm at, and I got to start that. I'm gonna pick that episode back up.
Well, okay, so then you need to see the next. Yeah, you gotta see the next episodes. All right, because you're gonna you get some more Sukuna, and you get to. He's funny, man. He's funny.
I'm glad I get more.
He's a mess. Oh, I dropped my phone.
I'm pretty sure. I think we're gonna have this synergy happen. I'm sure with them trying to make it work, or they might just be at odds and battle each other. You never know.
Hey, listen, we'll definitely see. And I think as he gets more pieces of himself, I want to see what's going to happen to like the power that he has, and the power that he has, and how it's going to manifest in our main character. We know at least it's setting us up to understand where our main character plot hacks are gonna come from. So I'm okay with this. Let me put it just like that. Because they are setting it up to where I know where they're going to come from, there is a linear way for me to understand it besides his absolute, freakish physical strength that we don't understand. But when it comes to dealing with the special grade cursed beings and stuff like that, we know exactly why he's going to get stronger, because Sukuna is the strongest there is, and as he gets more pieces of Sukuna's getting stronger inside of him, and we know what's going to happen with that. At least we understand that. He has regenerative powers because Sukuna doesn't want to die, right? We know all the things that's going to give him abilities as things go forward, and at least I know that, so we're not caught by the, what is that? He's not going to be a Quincy out of nowhere, later on in the anime, right?
And we have to also remember that Yuji by himself is strong, which is the reason why he could even take on Sukuna's body parts. So I'm going to say that this is going to be my last part pertaining to the Hashira conversation.
The meeting of the pillars.
The meeting of the pillars.
Yes.
But as of right now, what I would like to see moving forward, as of right now, audience, don't anybody come at me.
They come with the pitchforks. The pitchforks are coming. They're on the way.
I know. As of right now, I would like for them to go at each other in the end. And the reason is this. Even though it's a Shonen Jump, here's the reason. We've already had Migi team up with I'm blanking on his name. So we already had the Parasite team up with
Yeah.
It's not gonna come to me. We already had Ninetales team up with Nine. It would be cool to see Yuji need to fight Sukuna at the end, just to shake the room and make it different, due to the fact that it's seemingly so similar to these animes already.
Okay. No, I can see that. All right, well, I guess as we are coming to the close, I guess my thing is, listen, whoever you are that is making this anime, as long as the characters stay as cool as they are and as consistently funny as it has been, yours truly, Ryan Date, will be watching this anime. So, do that. Greatness. I will say this, regardless of what Sukuna decides to do, I'm gonna like Sukuna because he's hilarious.
Right.
Like,
same.
It's just hilarious when you get to see them kind of like even when he's talking to Yuji, I like Yuji because Yuji is funny, but I like Sukuna because he's funny and he has depth. I want to know more about Sukuna and why he is the way he is, because he has so much knowledge, and you can see that when he interacts with people. Like, he's always analyzing stuff, even though he's acting wild. Like, in the beginning when he fights Gojo Sensei, right? He's just like, whoa, what is wrong with this Jujutsu sorcerer? Da 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 da. And but you could tell he's just kind of like figuring it out, and then kind of observing everything. And I like the way that he's doing that. And I kind of feel like we're watching the story kind of through his eyes in a way sometimes. And I like that. That to me is kind of cool. It's very different. Like, we have a main character who kind of is holding the main character. Like, we know he is the strongest cursed being. The fingers that he lost are the things that are powering up other curses. He is the source of everything right now. and he exists in this kid, and so we're kind of always dealing with him in the foreshadows and stuff like that, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, but to wrap this up, I'm going to say I like Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. If you have not seen it yet and you have been spoiled by everything we said because we're talking about the anime, I apologize, but as we do here, we like to talk about the details of things, and it's hard to talk about details without spoiling stuff. So, I can't apologize for that, but I can say this. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go watch it. And you can piece together what we're saying and see how you feel about what we're saying. And for all of you who have watched it already, please let us know what you think in the comment section below. Have the conversation with us. Join us here. Hit us up on Twitter and just be able to talk to us. And we'll get back to you, of course, with our thoughts on this anime or anything else. As Nobunaga Deno says, one of the pillars, as often as he does say, please, if there's anything that you've seen that you want us to talk about, or anime that you've watched that you want us to check out, let us know in the comments too, so we can have conversations about things that you guys watch, and that we can get into some of these things and have these discourse and these debates, because they're debates sometimes, right, Trav?
They can be crazy. They can get a little crazy.
They're debates sometimes. So yeah, join us in the comment section below. Once more, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see whenever we're having a meeting of the pillars. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay safe in these corona times as the numbers are going back up here in America. Yes. They're closing back schools and everything. So please stay safe in the corona times. Black lives will always matter now and forever. Stay nerdy, my friends.